So I think we had a kind of a problem, but I restarted, so this can be the, let's say, the second part of our session. I will invite her again. Hi. I have just a moment. I'll invite you again.
Yeah.
There you let's make it, I think that, I don't know, maybe because of the time, the Instagram
Yes.
stopped
Did
the
it get
session.
saved? Did we manage to save this stream?
Yeah, we don't worry, it's saved. This will be the
Automatic.
second part of our session. I didn't check the time, but the time flies, you know. But the things that you mentioned here, that's really wonderful, and I can easily say that this is one of the best sessions I have ever done
Thank
it
you,
so
Roger.
far. One of the best, really, one of the best sessions I can easily say. And
Hocam, this is
let's
ikigai. Ikigai, hocam. The power of the ikigai. When you're doing what you are meant to do.
Exactly. Wonderful. Let's keep it. Let's keep on. Okay, and I think you have already mentioned about bonsai learning. So if they would like to know about more, they can go to the page. You said
Neurocomb, yes, I'm texting it here. It's Neurocomb, you know, honeycomb. It's
Yes,
Neurocomb25 because we are launching all the products this year.
exact. Yes, you have an Instagram page also. I have shared it
Yes,
today
we just
that they can
started the
go there.
page. Yeah, we just started our presence online. I didn't do anything online before. I was just
Uh-huh.
developing the products and researching. So now please follow us because we are launching the first product.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so and also we were talking about to have a session only about the bonsai thinking, so we will talk about this later. Okay, so let's move to another question. So you've been working on neuroscience, but what inspired you to work on this?
Hojam, novelty, looking for new ways of approaching teaching. And I just wanted to, I felt rust out, rust out and even burned. I felt that I was burned out on the job, and I was just looking for novel ways of teaching, and I got scammed on the way. But this is normal. Before I got there are lots of these courses, about neuroscience, and that is why I always tell teachers the courses for teachers shouldn't be expensive. Never pay a lot of money for the courses. That's what we are doing. Our courses, content courses, are CPD accredited, UK CPD, but they are affordable for teachers. So you can buy the course, you will get to know everything about neuroscience. You will get to know everything about happiness studies and application to education,
Uh-huh.
about future studies, but it's affordable, and you have the pre-prepared for you, workshop materials that you can teach it in your schools. You can collect the data, because we are also, as a lab, we are interested in collecting the data from real teachers. So you do you have the script, you do certain things, what you've learned in the course, you teach it, as I said, because I want you to really learn what it is, and you have to teach to learn it. And then you collect the data. There are certain activities that you do, certain protocols that you follow, and then you can share the data with us, because we are interested in, seeing the application. So please, the teachers, make your own judgments. Don't listen to anybody. The courses for teachers should not be expensive, because on my way, when I was looking for new ways, I spent a lot of money, and some of these courses, they were really a scam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Got it.
that's how I got to neuroscience, through scam, through trial and error, but I found my way.
I see. Thank you. Thank you very much, Alexandra. All right. So we're talking about the brain. You talk about neuroscience. And my next question is very interesting, and I don't know what's gonna say about it. You know, the brain is a really interesting and very mystic thing that, a lot of people, they have no idea what can do it. Or maybe we know things about our brain, but maybe just little one, not everything. So in this time, I'm sure you have a great answer for the next question. Can you share one surprising fact about the brain that most people don't know as a neuroscientist?
Hojam, the most surprising fact that people don't know is that they have a brain. And they need to use
That's
it.
perfect.
No, Hajab, this is not a joke. Seriously, people don't realize that their nervous system dictates. It's a blueprint. It absolutely dictates your life, whom you are going to marry, how successful you're going to be, what you're going to do in life. So it is very important to rewire your brain. And rewiring your brain is not only here, this is brain and heart coherence. I had my recent video, I think it was 3 days ago, on forgiveness, the neuroscience of forgiveness. What happens to people when they forgive, when they let go. And because I'm currently teaching the science of learning. And the way I start teaching the science of learning, I talk about learning trauma. You can't approach learning before you work through your trauma. We are all traumatized by our teachers. There was always the teacher who told you that you are not capable enough, that you are stupid, or who said those words that they probably didn't even mean, but it hurt you very deeply. And now you cannot approach particular subjects because they told you you're bad at math. Somebody just told you. This was just somebody's perception of you, which couldn't be even true, because they might be wrong, absolutely wrong. Yeah, was just a coincidence of different events. And children in the classroom, the teachers sometimes don't know what they are going through at homes. And this is very important, to be careful and stop projecting your opinions about the capabilities, about the intellectual abilities of the children onto them. And this is how I start teaching the science of learning.
Very
Forgiving your
interesting.
teachers. This is when you rewire your brain and you have the brain and heart coherence. By the way, Hojam, I have a workbook. This is the coaching workbook. It is called Bonsai Philosophy because we've just
Uh-huh.
come up with Bonsai thinking. It's on my not Instagram, on my Facebook page. It's pinned, so you can see that. And also I have it, I think if you buy it from Amazon, you can buy it from Amazon, but because of the paper, it's colorful, it's not that cheap. But you can buy it from my school, which is my digital school, Neurocomb25 school. So it's cheaper. I think it costs
Okay.
£10. And we have the coaching exercises where I sort of lead you through, this process of letting go of these beliefs, of these misconceptions about yourself as a teacher, as a student, as a learner. Yeah, that somebody told you, just you have to label that. Sometimes you just have to even say, what would you do if you were that teacher? And say these words to yourself and let it go. And this is the most important about neuroscience, that you have to know. It should be here and here. Heart
Here
and brain
and
coherent.
brain goes. I see. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's a really great and very meaningful explanation about it. Thank you very much, Hocam. All right. Actually, I was going to ask you some questions about the teaching, but before that, I'll ask you different questions again, something about like the brain. All right. So you know that uh, we need actually the students and the teachers, they need some habits, all right, to learn better. So in this case, let's say, what are some simple, brain-friendly habits that help students learn better? Maybe one or maybe two examples, if you can say us, we would be happy.
Yes, hocam. So, the most important things, they are evident. It's brain optimization, which is diet and exercise. The way PE is important for your studies and sleep is important for your studies is much more than any kind of cognitive exercises or techniques you can use. Because when you do the physical activities, your brain has this brain derived neurotrophic factor. It's a protein which gets expressed, is like a gene, a protein, and it's very
I
important for
see.
development of cognitive functions, for development of children, for maturation, and it's been expressed when you do physical activities. So people think that they have to go far, but actually it's just very close to us. Is diet and sleep. Sleep is important, because while you are sleeping, your brain processes the information. Never do the studies, never study before your exams at night. Never do that. You always have to have the regime, the routine that you stick to. And also when it comes to teenagers in particular, teenagers need more sleep, and they have very different sleep patterns than the young children and the adults as well. So the school for teenagers has to start later. And all the neuroscientists have been talking about that for ages. And some parents and teachers, they say, you're lazy, you just got up, and then you're sleeping, falling asleep again, yeah? Because you don't know that the teenage brain is different. And this is what we teach on the course. It's as simple as that, but it's very, very crucial to know. So,
I see.
why I like neuroscience, why I like happiness and the future studies, because it's about the how and the why. I've had a lot of what. We have the content, we talk about the teaching materials, what do I use, how do I teach a training, this business English, English for academic, English for specific, but what about how you're going to teach it, to make it accessible, make it friendly, make it ecological, if you wish.
Yeah, you are
And
right.
why if people find their why, if the children find their whys, you don't have to work hard as a teacher, because they will want to learn themselves. You will maintain their attention. So just changing the angle, focusing on the how. ALT as a field should stop focusing on English, because AI is a better English teacher than anyone in the world. There are plenty of applications, and I'm telling you guys, you'll remember my words. In 5 years, is 100%. All the teachers will be needed for guidance, for helping the students find out the how and the why, not the
How
what.
and yeah.
AI is doing the what. So
Yeah,
next
you're
time you
right.
enroll into the teacher training on, materials development, just think about it.
You are right, and very, the interesting point that you mentioned here about it. Thank you. Thank you very much. So my next question again, especially we just talk about also the technology. So my next question is related to technology, which is really sometimes we actually want to, the talk about this or maybe express the bad effect of the technology to our students or maybe to our kids or maybe around of us. So let me ask you the question so maybe you can explain us better. How does technology, which we cannot escape from it, affect our brain's ability to focus? This is a really important point, I think, and I really wonder what you're gonna say about it.
Yeah, so Hojam, there is a specific field, a separate field, which studies the brain and technology interface. But in short, very negatively, the attention span decreases. There are more autistic children than ever before, children who have neurodevelopmental problems, because why we are talking about children in the context of developmental neuroscience, because they are developing, they're still developing, and even the brain is fully developed at the age of 28, 30, 30ish. So when you are 21, no, you are not grown up. Your brain is not fully developed. It's just officially, according to the law, you are an adult. But de facto, you are still developing. So of course, technology is harmful, because technology, why we call it interface. What is interface? We have technology, we have the brain, and interface is this dot in between. And you become one with what you look at, with what you surround yourself with. You become this. And children become all this information. So they are searching, they start, looking for dopamine, scrolling, because they need this novelty. Their attention, they don't focus their attention on one. They stop listening till the end, because they need this novelty. And I see the schools and educational companies who promote, we have this digital solution. But guys, we don't really need any more digital solutions. We have to, we have our program for schools as well, where we have the reflective workbooks. We have the diaries that the students keep. They have to write. When you write down with your hand, you remember better than you type on the computer. It's a very big difference. And when you write it, it's like you're creating it. So that's why people say that if you set your goals, you have to write your goals down, with your hand, not just have it in mind. So when you write it, you set yourself for this. Your brain sets yourself, because the impulse goes to the brain. You are creating, you're doing it already. It's not just your plan or intention. So we have the diaries, the reflective workbooks, where children have to write. They have to keep the diary. They have to do journaling. It's digital solutions. We're full. I'm not saying we have to. AI is here to stay, but you have to use it wisely. AI is meant to streamline the processes, but again, you have to have the framework. You have to have the idea, and AI will help you to amplify your idea. So multiply the effect. And the same for children. They need to have digital literacy. But people talk about digital literacy in the context, the countries where people have no access to education. But our children, the children, from Turkey, in particular, in this context, they do have enough digital literacy. So it shouldn't be the topic, of conversation.
I see. Thank you. You are totally right. All right. So, okay, we talked about our brain and other neuro things and other things we talk about. Let's move to different, the questions. There's a couple questions left, by the way. And I know that, the time flies, and actually we plan it for like 50 minutes, but I think it takes more
I'm
than
sitting
50
on the
minutes.
floor, hocam.
I see. So, and I don't want to take more time from you, because you're not in a comfortable place to talk. So let me cut it short and ask you just a couple important questions, and then we will stop it, because you have done a lot for us today. Thank you very much again. All right. So let's move to another questions. In our life, we all have let's say, and role models. We always follow a good people path. We want actually to follow it. But in your life, probably you have it. Who are your role models, and who inspires you?
So I absolutely agree that, because we learn by imitation. At first you imitate, but there is this time, hocam, another turning point, when you have to let go of any models and you have to find your way. There was a very famous jazz player, saxophone player. I don't remember. That's a shame because he's quite famous. And he said, it took me the whole life to play like myself. Mozart did the same thing. He was playing like his teacher, you know, that musician. We all imitate our teachers at the very beginning, and this is the process of development. We have role models, but then we have to let go and we have to find our own way,
I
our
see.
own way of our art, yeah, as teachers. So I do have a role model, which is Marva Collins. Ordinary students, extraordinary teachers. Read this book. If you're a teacher, I'm having goosebumps because this book is just fascinating.
I
She
see.
founded a school in Chicago, I think, in very poor areas, and she was teaching all those children that nobody wanted to teach. They got expelled, dropouts, and what she was saying is that it's not about children. Children misbehave because they feel bad. We should understand that. And if I think your next question would be about maybe if you ask me about the superpower, if uh, if I had a superpower, yeah, what would I do? I think that's what I would wish to have, that we look at people with the God's eyes, we see what people are going through behind the scenes, because those children that nobody wants to teach, they are the children who somebody failed in the duty of care at home.
I
We
see.
don't know what they are going through. A lot of strain on the teachers, but she had this Mara Collins. If you watch her videos, she had this, as I talked about charisma, she had this presence, strength, and warmth. And the children, these naughty children who were just, fighting all the time, doing bad things, they were like this in front of her because she had this strength and warmth. She
I
had this
see.
combination, and I think this is what makes a great teacher. And by the way, being a teacher, it means being a leader. So as teachers, you should think about yourself as leaders first. Leaders are not the presidents, are not the the members of parliament. Leaders are the teachers, because you are this environment that the children are learning from. That's why I always say it. We have to invest into the environment and into the teachers. Teachers have to be the best looking people, the best educated people. They have to be well traveled people. They have to be the best, because children see them and they learn. You can tell
Yeah,
everything, but you learn what you see, not what
you're
somebody
right.
says. So yeah, this
Exactly,
is
you're
my
right.
job on
Okay.
this note.
All right. Thank you very much. So let's move to the next question. Actually, you already mentioned it a little bit. In our life, we face some difficult times, and we want to fix it, solve it, but we can't. And that times, sometimes we think in our own and say, "Oh, I wish I could have kind of a superpower, so I could easily fix it, so I could easily, deal the problem." But when you think about this, I'm gonna say about the classroom, maybe you would like to change it about your, the interest. So if you could have one superpower to use it in the classroom, or I don't know, outside the classroom, what would it be and how would it help you?
Yeah, I would wish to look at children with the God's eyes, to see
Wow,
behind those, to see behind the behavior, to see the gist, to see the whys.
to see. That's a very nice
And
superpower.
children, everybody, because as they say, always be kind, because you don't have any idea what people are going through in life. You
I
just see
see.
people, you judge the book by its cover, but you never know.
You're right. You're right. That's a very interesting superpower. Actually, I think this is the first time I heard about it, like this superpower to see with the the see the students' eyes, like
With
with
the
the God's
gods,
eye.
yeah, how God
Yeah.
sees
See them.
people.
I see. Wonderful. Thank you very much. All right. So, Alexandra, I think that we finish it. Okay, we finish our interview, and you go outside and you find a lottery ticket that ends up winning $100 million, which is a huge amount of money. What would you do? Please be honest. Okay.
Hojam is going to be the bunker school somewhere in New Zealand.
Cool.
The school for children, but it should be a bunker. If we take into consideration the times that we are living
Yeah.
in, yeah, so definitely
Okay.
in New
Wonderful.
Zealand.
Okay. I'm sure you're gonna use some of them for yourself. I think also. Okay.
So 100, you said
Yes.
100,000.
Yeah,
Yeah,
$1 million, 100
100
million dollars.
million. Okay, yeah, 100 million. That's not so much.
Really? Okay.
To be honest,
Okay.
no. Hojam, you
Okay.
have to rewire your brain.
Okay. Let's make it one. Okay, $100 million. It's all about.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's 100 million is, yeah, it's not a billion even. With the billion, you can do something.
I
Yeah, but
see.
100 million is exactly how much the Ministry of Education can invest in a
I
project.
see. I
Yeah, I
see.
think no, maybe less, but yeah, that's roughly the amount. So that's
I
not
got it.
much.
Okay. Everything. Great. Thank you. Okay. So now you know that I'm gonna ask you my last question, which is the most, the hardest one. Here is the question. What is your motto?
Hojam, my motto is it's better to regret about something you did than to regret about something that you have never done. Because Freud talked about it a lot, that the bitter people are people who, you know, they have not done the things they should be doing in life. So they feel bitter. This life that you regret that you haven't lived, I think this is the worst. So my motto is do whatever you are thinking about doing. It's
I
better to
see.
regret. Don't be afraid to fail.
I got it. Okay. All right then. So, Alexander, I ask all my questions. And before, I know that you were expecting this moment. Uh, yes, before ending our last sessions, would you like to add anything else? Any suggestions? Any advice to our audiences?
But I was very happy to talk to you because you have this spirit of Turkey, and it really reminded me of my time there. Turkey is my second home. I really wish all the best to Turkish people. I always get on well with people from the East. I get on well with people in general, but when I see someone from the East, is like,
I
tatlı
see.
yiyoruz, tatlı konuşuyoruz, and it's done.
Oh, that's
It's one
wonderful.
love.
Tatlı yiyoruz,
Yeah,
tatlı
but
konuşuyoruz.
yeah. So that's what I miss here. But there are lots of people from the East here as well, actually. But I really had fun. I hope it was useful for somebody. Maybe
Perfect.
somebody got their answers. If it happened, I will be more than happy if I was useful. Thank you so much for your time.
Wonderful. Okay. And I just want to say thank you very much one more time for your suggestions, for your advice, and especially your time, which is precious. You have spent your time. Thank you. Thank you very much, Aleksandra. Okay, so Aleksandra Halchenko was with us tonight with the Teacher Talk 211 session, and we had a fruitful session, and I can easily say that the session was one of the best sessions that I have ever had so far. I can easily say that. And thank you very much. And as you know that we are going to be here next week at the same time on the same day every Monday at 9 p.m. in Turkey's time. And until the next time, wherever you are, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Please take care of yourself. Take care of yourself and also Jam. And until the next time, bye bye everybody,
Bye
and peace.
bye.